My name is Tony Matar. I'm a church planter in the city of Seattle, planted a church called Venture Seattle.
This is Dr. Brandon Beals. My wife and I are the founding and lead pastors at Venture Church in the Seattle area, and you are listening to Pastors Unfiltered.
We're having all night revival.
You are listening to Pastors Unfiltered. I'm your co-host, Pastor Tony Matar, joined by my lovely co-host, tanner than ever, more bug bites than ever,
Raiders roll.
Brandon Lee Beals. How are you today?
I'm back.
You're back, baby. Raiders roll.
I was in Norway. I don't know. I'm tan from doing yard work in Seattle since I got back. It had nothing to do with Norway, which was cold and rainy.
You do yard work?
I love yard work.
I just can't see you do. Do you have like gloves that you love, like your own pair of gloves and
like 4. Depends on what type of stuff I do.
What do you love to do with yard work?
Everything.
All of it.
I love planting. I love pruning. I love mowing. I love weeding.
Wow, you have a green thumb. I didn't know that.
I'm very proud of my yard.
If you're from the Pacific Northwest, you'll get this reference. PB is the Cisco Morrison of our church. You remember Cisco, gardening with Cisco?
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, he was this guy on King 5 on Saturday mornings that like had ADHD times 10. He'd go, oh, we gotta look at these begonias. He'd get like super excited and his eyes would just bulge out of his face. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Morgan does an excellent impression of him.
To be honest, Tony, I have it down to different seasons of the year when different flowers in my yard blooms.
Wow.
So that I always have flowers blooming.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you all the different colors, all the rose bushes in my yard bloom. So I know which, because my wife loves roses. And I love.
Okay, so I learned.
It's therapeutic.
I learned something about gardening this week in Seattle.
You can't plant cactuses?
You can't water your grass. Did you know it's like offensive to water your grass? So everyone in Seattle, from Magnolia to Ballard, everyone's grass is burnt.
Oh, you're allowed to water your grass in Mukilteo.
Not in Seattle. It is like offensive to turn on water. I just learned that the hard way the other day. We're good now with our neighbors. Anyways, PB, welcome back. You were just in, where were you?
Belgium and Norway.
Belgium and Norway. In London. London. How was London?
Loved it. It's 4th time Diana had been to London, 2nd time this year.
Yep.
First time we were there and the weather was good.
Yeah.
And it made me want to read Harry Potter.
I hear weather-wise, it's a lot like the Northwest.
I think it was colder when I was there in February.
Yeah.
Less rainy, but no, it was sunny, beautiful. We had a blast. We were there in London for 3 days.
What was your favorite stadium? The Emirates? Did you go to Wembley?
We didn't literally go to any of the stadiums. We did go to the Devil Wears Prada Broadway show in London.
Dude.
We did. Hey, anything for your wife.
She would have loved that. Okay, and then you said Norway, which, by the way, why were you gone? We should probably tell our listeners why you were gone. So before people get all upset, oh, Brandon's gone again. You were
on a trip with Convoy of Hope.
Convoy of Hope, our partners.
So, yeah, they invite, like, a lot of their partners get to go on an excursion like this. And so Di and I were privileged to go.
Yep.
We get to be there with a bunch of business people that believe in Convoy, pastors that believe in Convoy. It's the moment where we make our pledge overall for our church on behalf of all of our campuses, including yours.
Oh, thank you.
I made our pledge. Yeah, it's just kind of a great experience. Cool. And
any comedians on the boat this time?
I didn't really do any of the boat activities.
Really? No.
You're really shows? There networking, meeting with people the whole time.
You didn't go to the casino?
I didn't. I did it. I did do a Texas Hold'em tournament.
Yeah.
With Virgil Brown.
Yeah. Cigar lounge?
I did smoke some cigars with some pastors out on the deck.
Nice.
I didn't know this about Virgil. I knew Virgil was a big poker player.
Yeah.
But he's an obnoxiously loud poker player.
He's just obnoxiously loud.
We were in this poker tournament, and I just want to just sit there in my own business, not really talk to anybody. But everybody knew who Virgil was by the time. Like,
You can make
you
friends
could hear
everywhere.
Virgil away at the other side of the casino. He's so loud. Buddies with everybody, having fun, throws his cards down, does obnoxious bets, and everybody loved him.
We love Virgil. He's a friend of the pod.
He's
He's amazing.
loved.
He's the best.
He knocked me out.
Hey, you lost to the guy who kept talking.
Yeah, he knocked me out. He got
oh.
third.
Okay, so something happened.
I got you a present from Norway.
Well, let me see.
I would like
curious.
to point out that
So what? Yeah, first off, what is this?
this is Norway has trolls everywhere. Everywhere you went, there's trolls. So to remember Norway, I bought a troll from my office.
You
Here
spent
it is.
money on this?
Yep. This right here, since Di and I are empty nesters, this is
Yeah.
our replacement for Vinny
Oh gosh.
right here.
What's its name?
Let's name him now. What do you want me to name him?
Well,
Morgan?
why is he? I think because he's Norwegian, he should be named Astrid.
Astrid.
Yes,
I don't
that's
even
like a
know that.
very, that's a very like European name.
Well, in honor of me being in Norway and tagging you.
In all
The-
those pictures of trolls.
So for those of
Yeah,
you that are
every day.
listening, I love to tag Tony in random pictures. Just
Yeah.
to let him know I'm thinking of him.
Yeah,
I
it's like
care
a camel,
that I miss him.
an alien.
So every time I saw a troll, I'd take a picture of a troll and tag Tony in it. So in honor of that, here he is, Tony the troll.
Can we zoom in on this? Look at this. This guy, he's screaming because he just, I don't know what happened. Thank you.
Besides the fact that he has hair, he looks exactly like you.
He really does. And too much hair. This is amazing. Thank you. I will certainly have that somewhere I could see it every day.
I was thinking in your 900 square foot apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just taking up more
We're
space.
gonna, So we went house shopping last week with Brett Allen.
Ooh, how'd it go?
And it went. We have an issue in that
Tell me, what is your price range?
my price range. You want me to say it on the podcast?
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal.
I
We
don't
live
want
in,
people to
for
go,
those of you around the nation, we live in Seattle.
This is cost of
You
living
pretty
here.
much cannot find a house for under $1 million. So you're going to hear this from Tony. Don't be uptight about it. But this is a point of reference for us.
750 to 800.
So he's trying to find a house in an area where you can't find anything under $1 million for 750 to 800. So in
So
other words,
If
you're
you
moving to the ghetto.
we're just not going to move. We just can't move. We went and looked at houses with Brett, and I just cannot buy a house at 6.8% interest. Listen, we haven't talked politics in a long time. Let's talk politics for a minute. I will love Trump if he does two things for me. I just need him to do two things. Free Gaza, and number two, get my interest rate down to 4.9. 4.9.
He's not in charge of the Federal Reserve.
Well, he bullies them like he does. I need him. I will love him to death if
he's
he can do those
frustrated.
two things.
Are you aware, politics again, are you aware that the Supreme Court just ruled that churches are allowed to endorse candidates from the pulpit? So we can endorse candidates now.
Who are we going to endorse?
What?
City council? I mean, city council members?
No one, but
No one. I
we're
got no one
allowed
to endorse. I will love Trump if my groceries are not $5,000 every time we go to Trader Joe's. I'll love him. I'll love the guy. I don't care what he's done. I don't care that he argued Joe Biden about golf during a national debate.
Hey, eggs
I
are
will
cheaper now.
I will love that orange man if he can just help me afford a house. I will forgive him for all his wrongdoings.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard that first. Tony says interest rates drop under 5%. He's given Trump all the credit for that.
I will
and he'll
endorse
endorse him.
Donald J. Trump. I swear I will.
You realize for 750, 800,000, you're going to have to buy a house in Everett.
I'm not kidding.
Maybe you
If
can't even afford a house in
If
Everett.
you look at the houses in Seattle for $750, it's like a house from the 60s that's 1,200 square feet. Hasn't been touched since the grandma who died in it.
So
Who's
our
living
church
there?
is in Mill Creek, the central campus.
Yep.
I live in Mukilteo.
Yep.
I'm going to bet
Yep.
on Zillow there is not a house for sale in that price range in Mill
House.
Creek or Mukilteo.
No, you can't. So you want to hear something crazy?
Are you want to live in a condo?
We just want to live. We don't care.
Live in a condo in the same complex that half the church lives in now. They're all buying that
Which one?
townhouse. They're buying condos in that place on Capitol Hill.
Oh my
Christian
gosh!
lives.
Don't get me
You could
started
be
with those.
neighbors with Christian, the Gorases.
Dude, my
all those
children would
people.
not survive Capitol Hill. I don't think I will survive. I can't do it. So what was I going to say? Just point of reference. We'll move on for people listening who aren't from the Northwest. When Ariel and I were youth pastors, we bought a condo 5 minutes from this building. It's right here. We bought it for $196,000. And you know what year that was? That was 2016.
So when I
about
moved
that.
here from Modesto, I bought a house that wasn't, and I had the house built, took 6 months, and it was right across from Gold Creek Church in Kingsridge. It was called Kingsridge, I think.
Great neighborhood.
And $315,000 was my
Oh,
4-bedroom, 2.5 bath house.
it's the worst. That's the only thing that sucks about living here. We can't afford to live here. The average median home in Seattle right now is $680,000.
Did you know that really nice house that I owned on the golf course? So I lived on the 7th hole of the golf course. House built in the 70s. I bought it for $600,000. Yeah, times have
And
changed.
it was fully remodeled too and everything.
Oh, it was amazing, and it
It was an amazing
wasn't
house.
that long ago. So we lived there probably for 7 years, and things have quadrupled in price because of the fact that we have a great job market.
I get why
Everybody moves
millennials
here.
are buying vans and they just live in them. I get it. I'm going to do it.
Or they just live
Or
with their
small house,
parents.
or live with their parents. Actually, my parents would love that. Anyways,
You could buy a house and just get a bunch of the millennials, Gen Z, to move in with you, rent rooms.
They're always asking to move in with us. Like, hey, Pastor, wherever you go, can you get a house with a room for us so we can come live with you? No,
Yeah,
I don't want to live with anyone
I
anymore.
did that. I had a Gen Zer living with me.
I don't
want to
do that anymore. I'll be honest. I want to walk around in my underwear, get a bowl of cereal at 11 p.m.
You put on your jammies.
Hey, easy on the jammies. I do put on my jammies.
My favorite thing is the troll is staring at Tony.
And he looks appalled. $780,000? You'll support Trump?
He's
What?
stunned.
I'll support Trump.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll find a place. I think you should get
Jesus,
a condo.
he
Live
will.
next to Christian.
Yeah, we'll talk about that offline. Okay, so we just wrapped up From Ephesus, which I had to remind everyone. Could they go, why is it called From Ephesus? Paul wrote the book of Galatians while being in Ephesus. Not for Ephesus, but for Galatia.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
What are we doing?
inside information.
Okay.
Originally, we were calling the series From Prison
What's wrong with that?
because when Christian and I did more research, we found out that there was a lot of debate if he was in prison when he wrote it, but we knew for sure he was in Ephesus. So
House arrest is
we
prison.
pivoted it
Yeah.
to Ephesus.
You could have wrote it from the cave.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would have known, but it was enough so that Christian and I, 10 years from now, didn't want to get
Wait,
emailed by a bunch of people saying, you got this wrong.
before we move on, do we want to talk about Diddy or do you want to save that till the end? Let's save that till the end. Let's talk about Diddy at the end.
Okay.
Well,
I-
we'll talk about Marty Solomon too. Marty, did you see Marty came out with a couple videos?
No, what do you do? Tell me
so-
about Marty.
Well, we'll talk about this at the end. We'll talk about it at the end.
Okay.
He's getting called out for some of his information.
Oh.
And Marty, being Marty, just extremely eloquent, kind.
Well, now that you brought it
No,
up,
we'll
bring it
talk
up.
at the end. Let's talk at the end. So, anyways, so we did a series on the fruit of the Spirit, which I think our entire church addressed. That they just our campus, at least, we're growing in those things. We're growing in those things.
They're not experts at them yet?
No, Richard is, and he'll go, "I am an expert."
How about Erica?
Erica Wall?
Yeah, that's her new
Yeah, she's
name.
kind. She's gentle. She's great. She's all of those things.
Is she patient?
No, she's not. She married Ethan.
Does she have forbearance?
She does. Excellent job at forbearance.
Okay, good.
Excellent job. Anyways, we did this series. I thought it was an excellent series.
Yeah, absolutely.
My favorite line from the whole series is when Di Beale said, "You cannot choose joy. That is a lie." That was really good. I've never thought of that before. You can't choose joy. You're being quiet. What are your thoughts?
I think that's a great line. Didn't have anything to add. I would have just ruined it by saying anything.
I did watch Mill Creek's. Sean did an excellent job
On gentleness.
On gentleness, which he is a very gentle person.
He is when
He
he's
is.
until he's in a bad mood.
He
And he's far from gentle.
He did a great job. But we're starting a new series. So I'm going to be honest. Here's the soapbox. I think churches keep doing these at the movies series. Can we move on?
Yeah.
That was cool 10 years ago.
Well, here's the theory why you do that. Because everybody travels in the summer,
I get
so
it.
it's hard to do a series where 1 week builds on the next. So they try to do a bunch of topical messages but they need a topic.
How about just
So they
teach?
pick a movie,
Yeah.
and technically they call it At the Movies, but it's just a creative way to do a series on apologetics.
I just think it's lame.
So
I really do. But that's my opinion. We did it, but that was years ago.
yeah,
We don't do it every summer. I get it. Instead, we decided to do an apologetic series asking life's biggest questions.
yes.
Which
The
good
title
for
got,
us.
I don't remember what I was originally going to call it, but the creative team outvoted me and changed the name to God Problems, which probably
It was
brands better.
It was questions I have for God.
Yes, that was what I was going to call the series, but
Once
my
again.
graphic designer didn't like it.
She's messed up.
I know.
Anyways,
So it's
the
God
new
Problems.
graphic is cool though. I like that.
I actually saw it on the LED wall.
Looks sick.
Saw what they
Yeah.
created, and it looks great. So the purpose of this series is we're just asking questions that we as Christians get asked by people all the time. People that are wrestling through faith. There's things they don't understand, and
Yeah.
they want answers for.
Yep.
And then also questions that we as Christians have. Now I think the series is only 4 or 5 weeks, so we're not even scratching the surface of the amount of questions, but like things that we'll answer is, why is there evil in the world?
Do you love doing apologetics?
I'm neutral.
How about like one-on-one when you meet with a new person for coffee and they ask you these loaded
Love it.
questions? You love that.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love talking anything about the Bible with people and
Yeah.
sharing about faith and things like that. But this series, I think people will really enjoy it. This Sunday, we talk about, what does God want from me?
Yeah.
And so, okay, I'm a follower of Jesus. What does God want from me? I think we've kind of crafted a really great direction to go with that. Other topics we're going to hear. Oh my
Let me
goodness,
pull
I'm
up.
forgetting some
evil.
of them.
We're talking about evil in the world. We're talking about, does God have a plan for my life?
Yeah, is there a plan for my, like, am I here by accident? Does God have a purpose for me?
And these are all questions you and I get asked all the time from people of faith.
Weekly.
Will God really forgive me?
Yep.
What
I've done, is it so bad? Can God really forgive this?
This is the one I'm really excited about. Aren't all religions the same?
Yep.
That's going to be a good one.
I signed Christian for that one.
I signed Paul Grant for that one.
He's speaking for you. That's why.
Yeah, I was like, you can have that, Paul. Yeah, I'm good. Why is there so much evil in the world? What does the future hold for me? These are really good questions. When you were thinking about this series, PB, what made you ultimately lead to it? Did you just think, hey, it's the summertime, we have downtime, but I'm just always asked this?
I thought I need to do a topical series while
We
people
never
are
do.
traveling. It's
Yep.
one, they can't build on each other. It was in between. It's right after that. We did Genesis, and we followed it up with that very intense Fruit of the Spirit series. And I wanted to do something that was, people could just, if they only come one Sunday in July, they're going to enjoy it. If they're in town, they're going to want to come the next week to hear what we're talking about. But every message would stand alone for people that are traveling, vacationing, and things like that. And also, because I usually take a preaching break in July, though I am speaking this Sunday, it was easy for the rest of the staff to kind of step in and preach on the topic. And
Yeah.
so
Why don't we as a church, why do we don't do topical series that often?
a lot of churches, it's all they do. Like I've become really good friends with, who also is a big listener of the podcast, Dave Nelson at Timberlake Church. It's the new pastor at Timberlake. He and I are becoming buddies. That's all they do at Timberlake
Okay.
is topical. I think it's a style thing for me. I believe the gospel changes lives. And
Yeah.
so I want people to hear teaching on the Bible and think, that's in the Bible, I should read that more.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more they read the gospel, it changes them from the inside out. And it allows, I think it allows the gospel, the Lord to kind of steer the topics.
Mm.
And again, when you're doing expository through the Bible series, you can, there's different ways for you to veer in topics that you need to hit on. Though I do think we are going to do some topical series this fall. I'm going to work on the sermon schedule a little bit next month. The plan right now is we're doing a series through Ephesians, but I really feel like we need a marriage series. I think
We haven't done
marriages
one
are
in a
and marriages in our
long time.
church are really struggling.
We haven't done one in a long time.
And so, as much as I don't love doing those types of series, I think there's a need for it right now.
Totally.
So, it's possible we might start the fall, push Ephesus back a month and do a month-long marriage series. Maybe bring in Troy and Jana Jones
They were
and have them
amazing.
do a marriage one day at the church.
You know what we should do? We should bring in Christina Gilbreth and have her just
Stare at
stare at our wife's eyes for an hour.
I think that is the reason that so many marriages are struggling right now.
Oh, dude, I haven't seen. Anyhow,
And the challenge sometimes when you do a topical series and people know about it, if the topic doesn't apply to them,
they're out.
they can sometimes skip church or just think, you know what, I'm going to come back when that series is over. So it's one of the challenges you have with a marriage series is what do you do when people are single?
So when I was 20 years old, we did a marriage series here at Canyon Creek at that time. And it was the week you were preaching on sex. And I had told Tyrone, the youth pastor at the time, I said, I'm not going. I was like, why would I listen to that? He goes, are you going to have sex one day? And I said, I hope I do. He goes, then you should go to that. I was like, oh, okay. And I went, and hey, praise God. But you're right. People
Did you get
skip.
saved?
I did get saved. Especially when you did that Bambi illustration. I was just, it was the Song of Songs series we did, which as a new believer reading Song of Solomon, I was like, what in the 50 Shades is this? But luckily it's not porn.
Yeah, see, that's an example
It's
of the
wisdom.
summer.
Yeah.
So I chose to do a series through the Song of Solomon
Yes.
in the summer
I
that year.
remember.
Yeah, so that probably wasn't the great time to do a Song of Solomon series. So part of this is you kind of learn the nuance of the preaching calendar and
I
things.
think one of the things I appreciate about when you craft our topical series is that I feel like a lot of topical preaching just has a lot of eisegesis in it, but ours are very exegetical. We go line by line and we still pick apart and here's what the scripture's speaking. I think we do a good job at that.
Yeah, I would say technically what we did with the Fruit of the Spirit series, I mean, you could argue that it was expository, but it was only one verse. And so each week was one of the fruits of the Spirit. So we taught on joy, peace, patience, all of those different fruits of the Spirit, kind of all tied in together.
Which
But
fruit do you feel like you lack the most?
I wouldn't consider myself very gentle.
Mm.
I also wouldn't consider myself super patient. What about you?
Patience. I just want to get it done right now. Like the other night, I was telling Ariel, here's 5 things we're going to do in the church for the next 5 years. And she goes, how about we just get to this Sunday? She there goes, how about we just get to this Sunday? I was like, dude, you're lame.
Well, whenever you talk about patience, people always talk about driving fast.
Yeah.
So Mukilteo came up with this great idea for extra revenue for the city is they put in traffic cameras. And for the first month, they would send you what would have been your ticket, but as a warning, but you don't get the ticket yet. In the first month, they put the traffic cameras. Guess how many of those I got in the mail? Just
4.
6.
Oh my gosh.
6.
You got to slow down, man.
That's exactly what my wife said. I'm like, I don't think this is true.
Sir, this is a
It's
school
so-
zone. Yeah.
I got one sent
Do
to
you
my
get
house.
those, Judah?
I got some sent to my house for Judah too. Just that one.
Yeah, patience is a big one. PB, how do you navigate that? You're a visionary. You see where we need to go and where you need to go years from now, months from now, but not everyone moves at your pace. How do you have patience with your organization? Secondly, how do you have patience now that your church is a couple thousand people? So I feel like it would take so much time to get everybody on board.
I think the biggest thing that has helped me with seeing vision and dreams fulfilled patiently has been viewing my role at the church not as temporary. Like I would say when I was younger, I always thought, well, I'm gonna do this for a season, and then there's a new season. And then there's another season after that. So, like, if I had a dream, it had to be accomplished within 5 years because there's a chance that I was going to be in the next season. And once I realized that this is likely the church that God is going to have me pastor until I retire,
Yeah.
it allows me to have a dream for something, and it doesn't need to happen in the next year.
Sure.
It can happen over a couple years, a few years, and things like that. I think the building, when we first had this central campus building built, it took so long. It was so tedious, and it just taught me patience. Because I think it probably took 2.5 years longer than we were originally told it was going to take, which is why the expansion is shocking to me.
How quick it is. It
I
takes.
can't get over
I'm
it.
here once a week, and there's an entire side of the building already done.
I was gone for 8 days.
I know.
That's all I was gone. 8 days. I came back and
crazy.
they doubled the amount of work they did.
And that's with inflation. That's with lack of workers. I know.
So I think part of it is when you view your role with longevity, you're a little bit more patient.
That's good.
If you're thinking what's next, I got to accomplish this so that I build the resume so I can go on to what's next or whatever. There's that. And then I think the other part of this is you just get to the point where you realize that this is about you and Jesus, that I just want to be good with Jesus, me and him. I want to be right with him. I want it to be well with my soul.
Yeah.
And there's less of this I've got to achieve to feel worth, like, because my worth and value is found in my relationship with him. And I think, like, I would be able to preach that super well when I was in my 30s, but I didn't believe it. Like, I would say I thought I believed it, but now this is kind of who I am. I'm comfortable with it. So I think that has helped with that. It doesn't mean I'm patient in any other area of my life.
Sure.
Like, I want a garage, Tony. I started this process of a garage in November. I don't even have a permit yet.
Yeah.
It's really aggravating. I want the Mariners to make the World Series in my lifetime. I want the Sonics to come back. I would like there to be another good Jurassic Park movie in my lifetime.
What was wrong with the new one? Was it not
Terrible.
good? Oh, no.
So bad.
I was going to go see it.
So bad. The Gentle Sean
Yeah.
thought it was great because he loves every movie.
Okay. We need to talk movies at the end. I have questions. You've always taught me, PB, because there was for a long time in ministry, I'd get discouraged. I go, change it. And you always taught me, Tony, play the long game, ride the wave, see it out.
And sometimes, like, if you heard God in the first place, sometimes you don't see immediate fruit from it, but through time you will.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to play stuff out. You got to see stuff through.
So you talked about identity there for a sec. I want to ask you a question. Do you feel like now in your, I'm going to say late 40s, does that make you feel better?
Maybe late 30s, early
Late
40s.
30s. I could tell. Do you feel like you're more confident because you just really have a deeper sense of your identity in Jesus versus in your 30s? I'm in my mid 30s now, and there's a lot of, sometimes you feel like you have imposter syndrome, or you're presenting to be someone that you don't even think you are. Do you think you're just confident just because of years of Jesus?
Yeah, I probably said this before on this podcast over the 120 episodes that we've done, but I mean, I thought when I was 25, the big youth ministry, I thought I'd pastor a church of 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that was the starting point, 10,000. Let's see where it can grow from there. And, you wake up and you're 50 and you're like, well, those kind of aspirational dreams that I had in my 20s might not have been Jesus. And there's a little bit of providence involved. There's a lot of, like, church growth is lightning in a bottle to some degree. You got to be in the right place at the right time to see that level of explosive growth. And there's a really small margin typically between a leader who has, a church of 3,000 like ours or a church of 10,000. It's a very small margin. A lot of factors that come in, but they're all these little small things. And once I realized that, and I kind of laid those, I call them aspirational dreams. They weren't bad, but
Yeah.
and then I stepped back and I was like, but what God has done here is good.
It's
Like
good.
if the Lord would have said, you're going to plant a church, it's going to grow to over 3,000. You're going to help plant a bunch of other churches. You're going to send missionaries out. You're going to send full-time ministers out. You're going to see thousands of people get saved. Would you give your life to that? If I went back, I'd say absolutely.
Yeah.
So once I had to just be, what God is doing is good. And if this is what God has for me for the next 15 years of ministry, that's good. And I'm content with it. So I think that is a big part. And then I would say, you stop comparing yourself to other people. I think the older that you just get more comfortable with you. You're not trying to be the guy that wrote the book down, or pastors the church down the street. And you're able to celebrate with those guys that do really well. And instead of seeing them as the other team, they become like your teammates and partners. You're in this thing together. So I think that has had a lot to do with it too, is that I stopped comparing myself. I stopped seeing myself in a competition with somebody else. And this just became, I want to do the best with what I have. And
Is that crazy to you? Like we follow Jesus, like we're Jesus followers and we're pastors. Yet pastors are sometimes the pettiest people on the planet. Like comparing churches.
I would love to say that, yes, it's ridiculous, but I have got to say, look, when I was in my early 30s, it probably changed for me probably by my early 40s. A lot of it, that anxiety break, I can't worry about anybody else anymore.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of the competitive spirit. And again, we're in a denomination, and part of it is there's certain things that you do that give you notoriety within our movements.
You get celebrated, totally.
And unfortunately, what we don't celebrate is we don't celebrate the guy or gal that just puts their head down and serves the kingdom faithfully, and their church consistently grows. There's things that you got to do to gain quote unquote notoriety. Got to go to stuff, write a book, host some seminars, bring certain people in to speak, and you got to do these types of things. And so I think part of it is that the church culture sucks you into the competitive nature stuff a little bit. But then what ends up happening is you go through this when you're younger, and then you either come out the other side where it's all about you and Jesus being comfortable in your own skin, etc., or you end up bitter. And so I'm thankful that I came out the other side and am not bitter. I'm able to celebrate guys that get celebrated or gals that get notoriety. And
it's real hard to be jealous when you're constantly celebrating people around you.
Yeah, and
I just cheering them on.
The last 4 years, and we've talked about this a ton on the podcast, that especially the large church guys cross-denominationally, we've all just become buds. Like we're all friends.
Which we need, yeah.
Like pretty much the large church guys, we're all cigar buddies.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like being friends with people, you celebrate their victories and you mourn their defeats together, because that's what you do for friends. Yeah. So I think that has had a lot to do with it too. So I think it is and that was not the culture in Western Washington for a long time. So I think there has been a huge shift. And all of that, I think, just nurtures us being more comfortable with us and Jesus. I would say, honestly, Tony, when you're a young church planner, man, it is really hard because everybody goes out of their way to tell you what's happening at the church down the street that just started.
Oh, I know.
And again, church people are hard to deal with sometimes. Church people, we love you. God has called us to shepherd you. We love you. But you do remind us of what other guys are doing and what we're not.
Stop telling us who the pursuit is bringing in. I don't care. Well, Brian Houston was here, and
the amount of reels from Russell that people are sending me.
Stop! I get it.
Just like, okay, it is what it is. I think what's happened, a lot of it. When the church crosses that 3,000 threshold, there's just so many people. And for every one person that's telling me I'm not Russell Johnson, I've got 100 people that are saying how much they appreciate Di and I just being us.
Yeah. 100%.
Now, when I was a church planner with 200 people in my church, and somebody would say, hey, you're not Erwin McManus, which I would never be, or I'm not, name the person. They would say, you're not Mark Driscoll, you're not Carl Lentz, you're not Judah Smith, and one after another. I just kept getting compared to people. There was only 2 or 3 people saying, we like you and Di. And then I'm like, well, I'm really hurt by that person that says I'm not Judah and I don't walk around with a Louis Vuitton bag and tight skinny jeans, the shirt unbuttoned to here.
So tell us how you really feel. Put in the comments right now if you want to see PB wear skinny jeans and a V-neck that goes down too far.
See, it's hard when you have something called muscles to wear skinny
that's what it
jeans.
is. That's right. I'm glad you call it muscles. I don't have muscles. I have church planting bod.
Have you noticed that the longer that David Diaz spends in Yakima, like if he's coming back here frequently, he dresses normal. But the longer he's in Yakima,
Dude,
the more the buttons go
David
down.
wears sunglasses.
He will come down sometimes with this.
He wears sunglasses indoors. Why? It's
do
60,
get it.
it's 60 and raining outside.
Hey,
Dude,
if
the
you're
dude's
going
got
to
it.
buy an expensive pair of Prada sunglasses, you want to wear them.
He went to Yakima and came back so bougie. It's Yakima. Anyway, okay. So I've talked to you about this. Me and 6 other church planters in Seattle,
Okay.
we're all homies and we're really close. And we all planted within a year of each other. And yeah, I mean, PB, like Fillmore, he's blowing up.
Yeah.
Fillmore has already 600 people at his church. And Fillmore's been around for a year. But we're all homies. We all have each other's backs. Because we all realize, I think the thing that I love about this group, no one thinks they're that amazing. There's just a humility. Everyone thinks I don't have it. Fillmore just spoke at Irwin's church. Mike Todd, who we've talked about on the pod, gave him $100,000 a couple months ago.
Just for his church plant?
For his church plant. And he just spoke for Rich Wilkerson Jr. But when you have lunch with Fillmore just is dude, I'm just a guy who plays basketball and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure this out. That's what I love about our guys. They're just very humble, very humble. The pastors who I think come across they're doing a lot or they're super busy, I think sometimes maybe we're just as humans compensating for something. The pastors I've been around the room that just don't think that they're that cool, those are the ones I really like. And they often have the biggest churches, by the way, and the biggest influences. And yeah. Hey, we need to talk through movies and that kind of stuff here in a moment.
Best movie I've seen this year. Maybe best movie I've seen in the last 2 years. F1. Isn't it incredible? I
Okay.
was sobbing by the end of that movie. Did you cry?
Okay. Rotten
Sports
Tomatoes.
movies make me cry.
Rotten Tomatoes has that at 83%. Fandango fan score is 97.
It is amazing.
Does Brad Pitt still got it? How old is Brad Pitt? Shut the door. That dude is 61 now? Oh my gosh, he's 61.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
The fact that Dallas just rattled off his age.
How'd you know that, dude?
That's why Dallas cut his hair. He has Brad Pitt hair now.
So, Superman, are you excited?
I'm going to see it with Sean King tomorrow at 2:45 p.m.
Can I? That's great. Okay, can I rant for you? Can I rant for a moment
About Superman?
about people complaining about Superman?
Who complains about
The
Superman?
other day on social media, someone
You
posts.
follow the wrong people.
I think I do. Someone puts a picture of Superman being arrested and going, look at this woke crap. You have a foreigner being arrested, being kicked out of the U.S., and look at this woke agenda they have. I'm like, dude, it's Superman. What is woke about Superman? I don't get it. I'm excited for Superman. I'm glad the DCU is blowing it up and just starting all over. And I think James Gunn is an excellent director. And I don't care about his politics. Just
I
make a
want
movie.
Superman to be good.
We want it to be good.
Hey, I wanted Jurassic Park to be good, the new one. And it wasn't.
Do you know why it wasn't good? Because what's her face is the worst actress. Scarlett Johansson is the worst actress.
How dare you?
She is awful. She has no personality. Ariel made me sit through that movie where she's like a Russian spy. It's her
Black
origin.
Widow?
Oh, it was garbage. Garbage. Oh my.
She's a good like side character. She is awesome in the Avenger movies and in the
She's-
Iron Man movies, like just kind of as a side character. I like Scarlett Johansson.
She died in the Avengers movie, and everyone in the theater go, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, all right."
You don't have to deal. You don't have to deal with her anymore.
I don't gotta see
No,
her anymore.
I'll tell you. Did you see the new Jurassic Park?
No, I'm gonna
Have
go.
you guys
I've
in the
watched
room
all
seen
of
it?
them. I've watched all of them. I love Chris Pratt.
They were trying to reconnect with the magic of the first one. So they've pretty much all been bad movies, other than the first one. The first one,
Chris
is
Pratt ones have been
incredible.
good. What are you talking about?
I did like the first Chris Pratt one. The last two were pretty terrible. In fact, the last one, Dominion, one of the worst
one
movies
was
I've
bad.
ever
That
seen in my life. Really, really terrible.
That was bad.
But they were trying to regain a little bit of the nostalgia from the first. And so they had this family in with the son and daughter. I just don't want little kids in my movies. I don't want little kids in my scary monster movies because they can't kill the little kids when it's a PG movie. So you know they're gonna like miraculously survive the whole time. They provide nothing. They're terrible actors.
They are.
So that really ruined the movie was 2.5 hours long, and Sean and I got invited to go to a sneak peek of it like 2 weeks before it came out. And so we were super pumped. We wanted to love this movie. But if you took out every scene with those children, the movie would have been 1 hour and 50 minutes and might have been Academy Award quality.
Did Sean like the movie?
Sean loves every movie. Sean only
Top
gave it a
Gun all over again.
he has his movie review YouTube,
Yes.
King Size Movie Reviews. They used to be a sponsor.
Yes.
In fact, they bought this microphone.
Yeah.
He gave it a 3.5, which is about as bad as you get from Sean.
Ugh. Yikes.
You need his wife. His wife will tell you what she really
yes.
thinks.
So Ariel and I just finished season 4 of The Bear. I know.
Okay.
I don't. Be honest. If you have crippling and debilitating anxiety, do not watch The Bear.
I made it through the
Don't.
first season. I couldn't handle it.
My heart rate goes crazy.
I had
when
to
watch
like
The Bear.
work out after watching it.
It's
Really killer actors.
So good. The actor.
Much better than the children in the Jurassic Park movie.
The Bear. It was amazing. It was amazing. We loved it. It was an excellent. Season 4 was redemptive. Season 3 was garbage.
Did you know that I've never watched the Harry Potter movies or read the Harry Potter books?
I've watched the first 2 or 3.
I just finished the first Harry Potter book yesterday.
Like, you read it?
Well, because going to London, I'm seeing, people are saying this was in Harry Potter.
Harry
this
Potter.
was in Harry Potter. So
Did you go on platform 9 3/4?
yes.
Okay,
I could've.
I'll say this: Universal Orlando does Harry Potter World out.
Yeah,
it's
I've seen it. It's
unbelievable.
amazing.
You take the train and you're in both parts of the land. It's amazing.
Somebody handed me butterbeer. I didn't even know what I was drinking.
Okay, so I do want to. Oh, butterbeer's good. So real quick, did you see Vin Diesel's getting cooked online right now? Did you see his big video of we're gonna do a final Fast and the Furious?
Okay.
Okay, so Vin Diesel's at some event and he's not looking good, PB.
He's
not.
got to be 62.
No. Dallas, you don't know Vin Diesel, but you know Brad Pitt.
He doesn't have a Vin Diesel haircut.
So here's the he's 57. He's like your age. So like Vin.
I'm 52. How old am I?
Okay, you've been 52 for like 2 years. Okay. No. Listen, I will never complain about someone's body weight. He's put on weight. But not like a little couple pounds. He's put on weight. And he does this whole bit. I told Universal they got 3 conditions and we'll remake the movie. And he lists off the 3 conditions, blah, 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 blah. And everyone's cheering, but he looks big. And everyone keeps putting in the comments, and the 4th condition is you got to lose 100 pounds. Or the 4th, it's so bad. He doesn't look movie ready. He looks like he like lost the fight to The Rock and then just rode off into the sunset and goes, well, that was a good career. The Rock, on the other hand, he's unreal.
Can you please tell me what happened to Marty Solomon?
Okay, so Marty
No
Solomon.
one cares about this other stuff.
You don't like Fast and the Furious? Those are great movies. Marty Solomon got okay, I want to do this justice. On his YouTube,
Okay.
he puts out a video response to a professor from Duke who critiqued his podcast. And she
Wait a second. You and I couldn't handle critiques of our podcast.
We couldn't.
How could Marty Solomon, one of the best Christian podcasters in the world,
He's top 10 on Apple some weeks. I mean, the dude literally said very humbly, I have 20 to 60,000 listeners a week that download our podcasts. He essentially gets critiqued, and this woman, talks about that he doesn't use scholarly sources, that he himself is not a scholar because he doesn't have a graduate degree. He is in a graduate program right now. But he goes to defend and say, hey, I'm not saying we're a scholarly source. Don't base all your knowledge just off the Bema podcast, that they're a resource. And he does this 3-part video response to this woman and says that he's contacted her. They've tried to talk. They've had some conversations.
what makes her an authority?
She's a professor at Duke.
Who cares?
I know.
Who listens to her?
It was his,
other than the Duke students.
She critiques.
She probably has 50 students in her class. Who cares?
She critiques his mentor from I'm gonna butcher this guy, so don't quote
Rabbi
me.
David Foreman?
No, it's the other guy from all the Earth studies they've been doing at the Sea of Galilee, I believe, or Caesarea, one of those places. That one of those guys is his mentor. He's been coaching him, and that the mentor was wrong. And because the mentor was wrong, and because Marty has taught this, Marty is now wrong. You just go listen to it. Anyways.
I would have probably, I would say Marty's becoming a friend. If I would have known about this, I probably would have said, just ignore it.
He felt the need to respond and do a whole video series on it.
He's a bigger man than me.
Yeah, and he's super humble, super kind. He's actually not even apologetic. He's not trying to prove himself. He's not trying to show hey, I'm right and she's wrong. Yeah. Anyways, I just thought they're cooking Marty out here nowadays.
Hey, I'm meeting trolls in Norway. I didn't even know about this.
My favorite is there were a couple pastors on that trip with you that I follow and that I'm friends with, and they would post pictures of the trolls, and they'd be, look how beautiful these trolls are. One of them, he's Filipino. Look how beautiful these trolls are. And Brandon would be like, here's Tony Matar. Did you tag Morgan in anything?
I should have.
Morgan. Well, PB, we should wrap this up. This has been a good pod.
Diddy.
Oh, Diddy. Diddy, from what we know, is sort of in the clear right now.
I can't believe it.
In the clear. It sounds like maybe he'll serve some time. I don't know. I asked my sister, who's a lawyer, all this stuff, and she goes, dude, I don't even know what's going on.
What does she think of it?
Oh, she thinks this of anyone. You did the crime, you serve the time. Doesn't matter who you are. But it sounds like he's cleared of racketeering. But the dude hired prostitutes and beat women. And you're going to tell me he's clear of that too? We have video footage of him beating a woman.
And apparently they're not going to release Epstein files either.
Trump was... Did you hear Trump about that yesterday?
He appointed the Attorney General.
Do you think he's covering up?
The Attorney General?
No. Do you think Trump is covering up that he's on the list?
Of course. I hate to admit it, but
I think he's on the list.
He appointed the Attorney General. He is saving face by now criticizing the Attorney General that he appointed. Elon already told us all he's in the Epstein files.
Okay. Now, while you were gone, your buddy Trump threatened to deport Elon.
I know, that was kind of funny. And in the meantime, Elon responds by deciding, I'm going to start my own political party.
He's not wrong. I would say, conservatively, 60 to 70% of America is in the silent middle.
Here's
who
what's going to
don't
happen.
want to align with either.
This already happened. You were a child. You don't remember it.
I don't.
But George Bush was running against Bill Clinton. And a guy by the name of Ross Perot, a rich billionaire, starts a third party. All these third parties do is siphon away voters from the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough Democrat voters to start a third party. They tried it with the Green Party and different things like that. They get a small percentage. But if Elon gains any traction, all it does is makes every Democrat happy because they'll win every minor election and the major elections. That's all it
But
really
Trump
does.
was not a Republican. Joe Rogan was
Yep.
not a Republican. They became Republican.
They were definitely moderates for sure.
I remember growing up, Bob Dole was on TV all the time. What was his party? Was he another party?
He's Republican.
He was Republican. He never won anything, did he?
No.
I just remember always seeing his face at stuff and going, I don't think he's going to win.
Yeah, he had an injury. He was in a war and had an injury from it. But
Bob Dole. Well, that was John McCain. Remember John McCain? Rest in peace. You don't remember him, Dallas? Yeah. Do you remember Barack Obama? Oh, my. I was like, are you kidding me?
what do they teach them in school
Oh, my
today?
gosh.
He might have been. Were you homeschooled, Dallas?
No.
Okay.
I do. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I think Trump has to do something with Epstein. They're homies. They're homies, and he's covering it up. Have you seen the video footage of Trump at the parties with Epstein,
Yes.
dancing with women, whispering in his ear? Just saying. I'm just saying.
Hey, we live in a fallen world, Tony.
We do.
That's why people like you and I have jobs. As long as we have recession-proof jobs, as long as people keep sinning.
Which is terrible. I think at the end of the day, PB, if people accuse you and I of what's the worst thing they accuse us of? That we were mean or we
Prideful.
or we eat too many donuts. I'll take it.
I drive too fast.
City of Mokotiu
I forgot to
agrees.
smile.
You forgot to. Be
There's the-
nicer.
I don't remember which one of the sermons it was. It was either patience or forbearance, one of those two that I was doing. And we had a guest that was in town, and the guy grabs me in the lobby. And I thought, like, I'm up there. I was up there cracking jokes. The whole crowd's laughing. But apparently my Italian scowl was, in overdrive that Sunday. And he was like, man, you are so intense. I was like, that was intense? That was me casual.
I got to ask you one last question while we have the pod.
Judah's still single, yes.
You still single, Judah? Good. Jimmy Swaggart.
Okay.
I want to hear, now that he's passed, rest his soul, what are your thoughts?
You know I'm talking about this in the sermon on Sunday.
I didn't put it into my notes, but you put it
You
in your notes.
took it out of yours?
I took it out of my notes.
I think this. I would say, in all fairness, I'm fairly neutral on it.
Okay.
The most I know about Jimmy Swaggart was stories that I heard from Glenn Berteau, because Glenn Berteau was his youth pastor when the moral failure happened.
Oh.
Yeah, Glenn Berteau found out about it. He had been traveling speaking. He was in an airport. Like back in the day, they would play CNN on all the TVs.
Yeah.
And that's how he found out. He was sitting in an airport, saw it on CNN.
Oh, dude,
So I've heard all of those stories. I will say this, that his mistake being caught with a prostitute happened in 1988.
But then it happened again in 1991.
So it happened again in 91.
Yep.
That is 34 years ago, if I'm doing the math right?
I'm 34 and I was born in 91. So yes.
So 34 years ago. And he gets to be remembered for his mistake. Is he not redeemable?
Sure.
Does he get to
Do you
be
think
forgiven?
it was because he had the big repentance and then he did it again? Do you think that's why it's tarnished a little bit, his legacy?
The biggest thing was like what I've heard. And again, I didn't really go to church. I went to church in the 91, but I didn't really know who Jimmy Swaggart was. But what I've heard is that, he was Assembly of God. He was in our denomination, and he had become the most by far influential person in our entire movement. And he was splitting the movement. So that's what I hear. So there was a lot of bitterness towards that. And then he was not gracious at all to Jim Baker when Jim Baker had similar failings. And so it's kind of like the first person to attack these people, there's usually a reason why, and it's usually they're a little bit guilty. But again, like one of the videos that I watched was by Jay Baker, Jim Baker's son. Really good. If you've seen it, you should look it up if you haven't out there listening. And Jay Baker talks about when I was trying to appeal to the courts to let my dad's sentence be reduced, he said, I tried to get character witnesses. And he said, I went to everybody, all my dad's old friends. No one wanted anything to do with it. And he said, I just on a whim went to Jimmy Swaggart, my dad's biggest adversary. And Jimmy Swaggart not only did a video, wrote a letter to support Jim Baker, but actually on his TV show, encouraged all of his supporters to support. Anyways, I don't know. That's why I'm kind of neutral. I wasn't there. I don't remember what happened. I can't say if this guy sincerely repented or not. I just know that I don't want to be judged by my failings.
I don't know him. I just don't know
I
him.
know that I work with people that, like every single person in our church that we shepherd and love, they don't want to be judged by their big mistake or their failings. They want to show grace.
Yeah.
They want to be able to live in forgiveness. They want to be able to know that their sins are forgiven, that they can be redeemed. And I think he should be able to be that way too. So that's kind of where I stand on it. So
Yeah.
I appreciate the people that are saying, hey, we acknowledge that sin happened, but at the same time, tens of thousands of people were saved because of this ministry.
Yeah.
Kind of invented TV evangelism.
Yeah.
Like I know I'll talk to ministers like Richard Vignair that will tell stories about, I have Jimmy Swaggart records.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of doing podcasts or tapes, CDs, you got their sermons on a record. So anyways, that's my 2
I love
cents.
your position.
So
I
it
think-
is in my sermon.
Yeah. I just didn't feel that I had enough education on who he was to share about his life. But
I mean, again,
no.
if Glenn Berteau was sitting right here, he shares the story. It was so traumatic because he lost his job overnight. It was so traumatic that he tells the story as if it happened yesterday. And I've heard him tell it, I don't know, 50 times.
I was in the airport in Bama sitting on a bench. I'm sorry, that's terrible.
Like, oh, please don't let him listen to this.
And I looked up and Wolf Blitzer's mug was there and told me, Jimmy, Pastor Jim. All right. Well, PB, this is a good episode. Glad to catch up. Glad you're home. Welcome back. We going boating next week?
I got to get the boat running. I haven't had it out on the water yet. I haven't been home.
It is July, my friend.
I know. My goal is
Let's
this
fire it up.
afternoon. See if the
You gonna go
motor will start.
Yeah. Well, appreciate it. Hey, don't forget, if you like today's pod, don't forget to share the podcast, subscribe, like it, give us 5 stars, help share a positive review. That would really help us out.
Tony and I are here together for at least the next month. So no more
We're
of this
here.
me alone or him alone thing.
We're here. Which, by the way, last week, my buddy Austin was on here. He did an excellent job.
I listened to it last night
What'd you
around
think?
my fire. It was great.
Yeah, he was great.
So is his brother some famous baseball player or something?
I don't
He
think
talked
so.
about his brother in baseball a bunch. So
He did?
yeah.
Did he?
Yes, I listened to it yesterday.
I don't remember that.
Talked about how he had ADD.
Yeah.
You admitted you had ADD. I didn't know that.
You didn't know I have ADHD?
No.
My presence did not tell you you couldn't tell by hanging out with me all this time?
When you were youth pastor, you did like changing everything as soon as it didn't go well.
I can't focus for 2 seconds.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. Anywho, don't forget, subscribe. If you have negative feedback, send it to morgan.b@ourventure.church. I was just with him over the weekend, and I asked him, Morgan, how many times do you get emails? He goes, not as much anymore. I said,
Because we admitted it.
because we're nicer now.
I think it is. This is the nicer version of our unfiltered podcast.
I'm going to call our wiser
I pretty
ears.
much think everybody that was offended by things we said,
doesn't listen anymore.
they don't listen anymore.
They don't listen anymore. No. Anywho, we love you guys. Appreciate you. We'll see you next week on Pastors Unfiltered. Don't forget.
Let's make Jesus famous.
This is Astrid right here.